For this Sunday before Ascension, the day that Jesus rose up into heaven after his 40 days walking the earth after his resurrection, we are remembering that Jesus said that he would be leaving, but that he would still be with us. And so with the two readings we had, the gospel and the reading from Acts, we have a couple of ideas coming out of this. In the gospel, we hear that Jesus says he'll send us the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, the advocate, to be with us, and that we should be keeping his commandments, and that he'll always be with us. And in the book of Acts, Paul is going to a foreign place in Athens where there are a lot of Gentiles, and they have all these idols, but he finds the idol marked to an unknown God. And he uses that place of connection, a place they can agree on, that they don't know everything about God. And he teaches them about Jesus. And we hear him tying to the idea that God is never far from us, that we live and we move, and in him we live and move and have our being. And so I ask our students to think about these questions and to answer them and how they thought where God was. One of the questions was, Jesus said, in a little while, the world will see me. No, the world will no longer see me, but you will see me. How do we see Jesus when he's gone? How do we know God is with us? The second question was this. Jesus says, if we love him, we'll keep his commandments. What do you think are the most important commandments that we should keep? How does Jesus want you to act in the world? The last question was this. If you could ask God a question and you knew that the Spirit of truth would answer, what would you ask? So our students have answered these questions, some of them, all of them, some of them just one or two. And I think that they're brilliant answers, that they help us to see God more clearly.
All right. Jesus said, in a little while, the world will no longer see me, but you will see me. How do we see Jesus when he's gone? How do we know that God is with us?
Jesus is in heaven just like God is.
Yeah? How does he see us?
How does Jesus see us?
Yeah. How do we know God is with us?
Because God is in heaven, and heaven is up there.
Hello.
Hi.
So, Jesus said, in a little while, the world will no longer see me, but you will see me. How do we see Jesus when he's gone?
What I think he meant by that was that he won't physically be with us on earth, but he will be walking alongside us through all of our lives, just every day. He's there. How we see Jesus, I think we really see him when we look on the good acts that people are doing, especially right now with the whole corona situation, the nurses, the doctors, everyone who's going out there working. Jesus is right there with them. He's right there with us. He's keeping them strong, keeping them motivated, helping some of these people who might not make it, but he gives them hope. He's with us fighting.
Okay, Owen, I have 3 questions for you. 1, how do we know that God is with us?
When we go outside, we see the beautiful things.
So when you go outside, you see the beautiful things.
How do we know God is with us?
And the beauty of nature and love.
Because a lot of times in church, people tell us that God is with us.
When Jesus said, you will no longer see me, but still see me, I think he meant that he will always be with us in spirit. I think that Jesus wants us to treat each other like we want to be treated.
How do we see Jesus when he's gone? How do we know God is with us?
It's in the sparkle of your eyes and everywhere around you! I'd just say, if you look on this beautiful place and you can see the sun shine down on the water, you know, just there. Yeah.
How does Jesus want us to act?
Kind and loving.
I think that the commandments relate to the dragon values because it tells you not to lie, cheat, or steal. And the most important commandment that I think is that it's the thou shalt not commit murder. And the reason I think that is because it means not to kill, and nobody should really kill anybody for any reason at all.
Good.
Any more detail?
I'm like happy and
Okay. Jesus says if we love him, we'll keep his commandments. What do you think are the most important commandments we should keep?
The 10 Commandments.
I know. Which one do you think is most important?
Well, I don't know what the 10 Commandments are.
Well, no lying, stealing, no cheating, not to be greedy, to be thankful for the things that we have.
To be thankful for the things that we have. No stealing.
Yeah, no stealing's a good one too.
2, Jesus says, if we love him, we'll keep his commandments. What do you think are the most important commandments we should keep?
I think the golden rule overall, that's probably one, treat everyone how you want to be treated. But a personal favorite of mine is number 10, thou shalt not covet. I don't think you should covet anyone for what they have or anything they do. I think you should want to be your own person. You should build on what you have. You can take certain steps from others and take their path, but at the end of the day, you want to be your own person and really see what God has laid out for you and follow that path, and not just try to be like everyone else. Like, love yourself as God made you and not try to change your image to match what people think is cool or whatever.
How does Jesus want you to act in the world?
Kind and nimble.
Nimble?
Nimble.
What do you mean by nimble?
Whatever.
How does Jesus want you to act in the world?
happy.
Happy?
He wants us to be kind.
Say that a little louder.
I bet he wants us to be kind.
All right. Second question, how do you think Jesus wants us to act in this world?
Kind and helpful.
Kind and helpful. All right, very good.
I personally would ask God, was the Big Bang God creating the earth, and what happened before it as well? So the reason why I wanted to know those things is because I'm personally a science geek, so it would help me to better understand science. So.
Okay. And what's one question you would want to ask God?
Does heaven really exist?
What is one question you would ask God if you knew God would answer?
Keep me safe.
That's not a question. What kind of question would you ask him?
What is it like up there?
Yeah? That's the only thing you would ask him?
And may you please keep me safe through all my life.
That's pretty good. Thanks, bud.
That's all
Do you have anything to add, Brooklyn? Brooklyn, what would you ask God?
Watch my true eyes.
Watch your what?
Watch my true yes.
Okay.
And the last question. If you were to ask God any question, and you knew that he would answer, what is one question you would ask God?
How long will I live?
You would ask God how long you would live. All right, thank you.
What's one question you would ask God if you knew he would answer? Kelly?
I want to tell him, is your family kind?
Yep. Amelia?
This question is a bit of a big one, but how did he get created to make the big boom that made Stardust? Made us.
So the last question is, what is one question if you would ask God, if you knew God would answer? What question would you ask him?
I would ask him how I could help myself help others, because I think it's hard as a person to you're there and you want to help other people, but sometimes you don't have the right words to say. And I think in a lot of situations, I would just like to have that confidence or know the right things to say in a situation to make something all right, to make someone's situation better, to make them smile, fix that rainy day. But I think that's something we would all like to do, but me especially.
Well said. Well said.